Hi, I am Kelly with Body and Health Mechanics. Welcome to the channel. I am a registered massage therapist in Ontario, Canada. The aim is to help give some tips and tricks and all things massage from a massage therapist point of view. This doesn't mean, however, that massage by itself or the interpretations are the only way to achieve results. There are lots of wonderful therapies and therapists that are out there that may be more suited to you and your goals. If you like the video, hit that like button. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button below. I really appreciate it. See you soon. Hello and welcome back. This is the last video on the series of headaches. In this video, we will be discussing some tips and tricks on how you can deal with your headache. In my experience, there's no one uniform way to deal with any one headache. These suggestions will be here for you to try and see which one works best for you. This is accomplished by listening to your body. First thing we're going to start with is trigger points and referral patterns, as we discussed in the last video. Once you know where your pain is manifesting, the hunt for the trigger point is on. First thing though, we're going to start with a pain scale. We're going to establish this, being 0 being no pain whatsoever, and 10 being, oh my god, this hurts, so much pain, please stop. You want to use this for yourself and if somebody is around to help you poke at these trigger points. These trigger points, again, no pain, no gain is a very slippery slope. If somebody is willing to help you, communication is the key. You want to feel the release that it hurts so good, but not causing more of a headache or more pain than you started with. So to find this trigger point, you're going to find the approximate spot where the muscle you think is where the headache is coming from and trace it. You can trace it lightly to start. It might be very apparent from there. It's always possible. Once you think you've found this trigger point, you're going to push to your comfort level. You don't want to be at a 10, you want to be around a 7, so that it's kind of shooting off some sort of ache. It could be shooting everywhere, it could recreate your headache, it could be like a sharp pain. Again, you want it to be around a 7, a level of intensity, not a 10. Once you're sitting there and you're on this trigger point and you're at a 7, you wait for a couple seconds. It will start to calm down in the intensity, and you're going to wait till it comes down to 0 or thereabouts. In which case you know that trigger point has now come down. A note here about pulses. If you feel a pulse with any other finger except your thumb, any of these fingers around here, and if you feel a pulse, get off of it. That means you're on the artery. Move your finger just a little bit more, off to the side a little bit, until you don't feel it anymore, and then you're good. Once you've gotten the pain down, you want to wrap it in heat. You don't need to have it at boiling, you don't need to have it at lukewarm, you can have it wherever your body feels comfortable. The whole point is to wrap your muscles in an apology of what you just put it through. You're going to want to do this for about 5 to 10 minutes. If you do less or more, that's perfectly acceptable. And you have to listen to your body and do whatever it feels it needs to do. You don't want to go past 20 minutes, however. After that point, the muscles just get used to it and stop relaxing. Go for 20 minutes, take a 20-minute break, and then come back and repeat. Now that we've heated it, it's time to stretch it out. As with any stretch, you don't want to see just how far it goes, and never mind the pain. It is not a competition. You want to take the muscle into the stretch and feel a pull, not pain. Pain will only aggravate the muscle or muscles you just worked so hard to release. If you've done more than one trigger point in your neck, you can do a simple roll from right to left and then left to right. With any stretch, usually you would hold it from 5 to 10 seconds for about 3 times each. If you do less than this, that's perfectly okay. Figure out what your baseline is and use that as your guide. We're going to start with the stretch for Levator scapula. Here's a stretch for upper traps. Now there's a stretch for mid traps. Here's a stretch for suboccipitals. Here's a stretch for Masseter and Temporalis. And now a stretch for the scalenes. And now we're going to do the stretch for SCM. And finally, a stretch for Splenus Capitis. These stretches don't need to be limited to just when you do a release of a trigger point. If it feels good, go ahead and do it. You can work your way up to 3 times a day. Again, it's still with 3 repetitions in a session. You can also work your way up to 30 seconds from the 5 or whichever baseline you started with. What we're going to look at now is how to assess yourself. So what you can do to see where your limitations are rather than feel is you're going to stand in front of a mirror and check your range of motion. So turning your neck and watching where you stop. Doing the different motions to see the difference between the 2 sides. Is there one that doesn't come down as far? Is there one that doesn't turn as far as it should? You can do this on the side of the mirror, like so, and check out both sides for symmetry. The same thing with your posture. Looking at the mirror again, where your shoulders at. Are they completely level? Same thing sideways. Are they too far forward? The first thing you're going to do to relax the muscles of the face is place the tip of your tongue behind your front teeth on your palate or your roof of your mouth and just draw little circles. The second thing you can do to relax your facial muscles is again to place the tip of your tongue behind your teeth at the top of your palate or roof of your mouth and blow out with the R sound. If you can't do it, do not worry. Simply go back to the first one and keep doing that. The last one is to fill your cheeks full of air And then exhale really quickly, all in one exhale. With diaphragmatic breathing, this helps not only you relax, because you're taking more oxygen in, but the muscles that are in between your ribs, there are a lot of muscles there, they will contract and retract, which will help them stretch. But it will also help whichever muscles that are attached to your ribs. They will basically relax by proxy. With diaphragmatic breathing, the easiest thing to do is to keep your hand on your belly and with your chest, just so you know where you are in your breathing. So you're going to take a deep breath in with your stomach and then with your chest and hold it. And then you're going to do the reverse to breathe out. One thing you can do, especially before bed, is put some heat on your neck. Once you've done this, and start stretching it out so that the heat helps it just settle down right before bed. It helps circumvent a stiff neck in the morning. This brings us to the end of our series on headaches. Thank you for trusting me with your head pain. I hope these explanations and demonstrations have helped you in some capacity. Remember to listen to your body. I'm wishing you all to be headache and pain free.